Bill Cosby. You don't think he's proud of his race? What does he get? Uncle Tom. Oh yeah, he's Uncle Tom. He's a happy Negro. Yeah, he's a house nigger. Whatever you want to call him. Because why? He's a sellout. Why? Because he's trying to tell people get an education. Well, no, we can't get an education because then we can't blame the education system for not having an education. What's that? That's hogwash. See, you're not a product of your environment. Your environment is a product of you. That's something you need to understand. Okay? I consider Bill Cosby to be a great man, as I do Reverend Jesse Peterson. A fantastic person. Those are real leaders for the black community. But no, those people get pushed aside and called names because they're telling you to better yourself. I don't understand why you don't see that. Black people, listen to me. You need to take responsibility. You need to stop doing what you're doing because it's not helping you at all. It's really not. You know, what else can I say about that? The double standard has got to stop. You know? It's ridiculous. So, I mean, that's where I am on race. I mean, white people can't say nothing. Carlos Mencia said it in his act. He said, yeah, I feel sorry for white people because white people are the only people in this country that can't say nothing because they're going to be called a racist. And every time somebody is a victim of racism against whites, they say nothing. They don't push the issue. Why? I don't know. They're afraid that they're going to be called a racist for standing up for themselves. You know, I'm proud to be white. I ain't no Nazi skinhead. You know? And there's so many black people out there that call themselves Southern Baptists. I'm a Baptist myself. What's wrong with you people? You think that this is what Jesus wanted? I mean, Al Sharpton, Jesse Jackson, people like you're just trampling all over the dream that Dr. Martin Luther King had. He would be spinning in his grave. He would be so happy with the equality that was achieved, and he would be he'd be shocked to see what you're doing with it. It's crazy. I mean, don't hate other people. Don't hate white people because they're white. I mean, in doing that, you're doing exactly what you're complaining about. And you're only hurting yourself. Don't hate others. Love yourself. Do what you need to do for yourself. I mean, it only makes sense. You know, Bill Cosby liked to quote something he said, you know, because of this whole Ebonics thing. Okay, in some school areas, it's okay for black kids not to learn proper grammar because it's Ebonics, it's their heritage. Oh, and they're proud of their heritage. You don't think Bill Cosby's proud of his heritage? You don't think that he's proud of where he comes from? But it's not where you come from, it's where you're going that's important in life. And he said, too many parents are willing to spend $200 on a pair of sneakers, but they can't spend $50 on Hooked on Phonics. Think about it. I know a lot of very articulate black people. Well, I said articulate. You know, I mean, that's like, when you say that, you mean that the rest of us are dumb and don't talk right. No, I mean the person that I'm saying is articulate. I mean that if they can do that, why can't you? If I can speak proper English, why can't you? You keep wanting to say, we want equal rights. We want equality. Equality. But yet you keep setting yourself apart. Right? How many people do you hear say, I'm Irish American, or I'm a German American, or you don't hear that. I'm an English American. You don't hear that. Why? Because we're Americans. Be an American. Be an American. That's what's important. I was watching this Top Gun Navy pilot on TV one time, and he was talking to a group of school kids. And he's saying, you can be whatever you want to be. You just have to work at it and do what needs to be done to achieve those goals. This is what he said, and he took questions. And a black girl in the audience said, well, you understand being an African American yourself, that how hard, and he stopped her dead in her tracks. He said, wait a minute, before you continue, I'd like to point out something. I am not an African American. I'm an American. I've never been to Africa. I might go someday, but if I do, it's going to be the U.S. Navy that sends me. I'm an American. You got to get over this African American thing. You know? Especially how many of you have been to Africa? It's ridiculous. Be an American. We got to break down these divisions, because that's what we are now, is divided. We're divided, and it stinks. It's terrible. You know? Another thing that Jesse Jackson said when he was on Bill O'Reilly. Bill O'Reilly explained to him that, well, a lot of white people are scared, talking about going into black neighborhoods like Harlem. A lot of white people are scared of black people. And he said, well, black people got more reason to be scared of white people. No, Mr. Jackson, I'm sorry, you're wrong. You're wrong. There is no reasoning in fear. Oh, well, we have a reason. No, if you are afraid, you are afraid. Okay? Fear. You can't rationalize fear like that. When somebody's been accosted by somebody that's black, they're going to be afraid of them. Okay? If some black person's been beaten up by Nazi skinheads or Klans members, they're going to be afraid of that. There's no more reason for one person or another. Some people are afraid, and it's understandable, because we're not the same, because the media doesn't allow us to be. Okay, the TV does not allow you to be the same. It's ridiculous, isn't it? Okay. Now, spirituality.